Hello, everybody. Welcome to We're Smarter Than This, a Star Wars review series. I'm Bronson. That's Aaron.
Hi.
Or that's Aaron. Yeah,
Hi.
above me. Um, last week, or I guess last day, we did A New Hope,
Yep.
and now we are on to Empire Strikes Back.
Mm.
It's really. So, I don't know how they did it, but they made an even better movie than A New Hope the second time
It's
around.
it's different. Um it's a different but like very good movie in the same way, and it just goes about it differently. And one thing it does that New Hope doesn't do as well. New Hope does it, but Empire does it better, is just a lot more um oh, what's the word for it? Just iconic moments. That was the first like full unveil of the song, the Imperial March, where they just lingered on a
J-
Star Destroyer and
j-
TIE fighters
just
going around.
when you hear that song, you are instantly just like, ooh.
Yeah,
And it does a lot to expose Vader as a character throughout the entire thing.
throughout the whole movie. Yep,
Like it's not just oh Vader's the big bad. It's like oh Vader is like the dude.
yep.
Like he like murders like three lieutenants throughout the course of the movie.
It was very funny that like they introduced the Force choke in A New Hope, and it was just this singular-ish kind of amazing. Well, he does it a couple times, but it's just
But like
very
the
impactful. And then Empire, he's just like half the rooms are full have a dead body in it.
yeah, just he's just choking bitches left and right.
Yeah.
just just like got me my coffee wrong. Ugh.
Look,
Uh,
man, I know you don't want to deal with failure and you want people to perform. I know this is more of a flaw of the dark side train of thought, really, than anything else. But it's like, at some point, you're going to kill all the competent people doing it this way.
Lordy.
No wonder things keep going wrong. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes here. First thing that really got me thinking was just Han's character seems to change a bit, and they kind of emphasize it this whole movie
That
because it's obviously working towards the end bit. But
Han in this entire movie is struggling between his want to go say F this and go live that smuggler life and the fact that he really cares for his friends and Leia and whatnot.
he,
So
well, right, but it manifests in almost like an angsty teen kind of way.
a little bit.
Uh, yeah, well, he's just like, why won't you just say you love me? Like, Han, you didn't give a fuck like the last movie.
It goes back to the Star Wars as cheesy thing. The
Well,
like the
yes.
with the walking carpet and the you know
It just seemed very sudden to me. It
yeah
did, you know. It's very very much emphasized from the beginning of this movie and all throughout. Um, they allude to it in A New Hope. Think a girl like her and a guy like me. No, you know,
well
and then that was the end of it.
yeah
But mm,
but
yeah, it's that was kind of weird. But I understand that was going to be Han's arc through this story, was his relationship with Leia.
his relationship with Leia, his like want to do the right thing, but also his want to be like fuck this noise.
It seems like he leans on the side of staying with the group in this one
Oh, for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
like, but you can still tell there's that like I don't want to be here.
I mean, he at least wants to, pay Jabba the Hutt off and then be out of danger. You know,
Right.
he'd like to continue being with his friends here if that was possible without having the Empire chasing you everywhere.
Right, and of course he had multiple really rad moments, including the meteor field one and the
Yeah.
the landing on the Star Destroyer one.
That was crazy. Yeah, I had
Uh,
forgotten that that happened.
yeah, no, I did not remember that at all during this movie. Or before this movie, like rewatching, I was like, right, that happens. Um, Boba Fett still sucks.
Okay, so I have not heard this opinion from you before on Boba Fett. What's up with Boba Fett for you?
Just like it has more to do with the fan base than anything. I was like, oh, like okay, like Boba Fett looks cool, and
It looks cool.
his ship also looks dope. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, why does everyone like this character? He does nothing.
Well, right. He was. I always interpreted it as he was supposed to be a nothing character, and it was apparent at the time.
Mm.
But people made a character around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess like they just like implied like this guy's a badass
Yeah.
because he followed their ship.
Yep.
That's what he does.
No, he doesn't do much. In fact,
Uh,
like what was so funny about the whole mercenary scene is that like within a few seconds of him telling them what they were going for, what they were going to get, and all that, he's like, "Good luck," and it's like, "Hey, we found them." And then like all the mercenaries have to stand and watch as the thing that they were there for is like in front of them. They're like, fuck. Um,
um, the Battle of Hoth as a whole is great.
I was
So,
surprised at how long that whole first Hoth bit was. It was much longer than I remembered.
yeah, because like in your mind, it's like, oh, it's just the battle and it's done. But no, it's the you have the Tauntaun thing and the like Luke go to Dagobah.
Yep,
You
he's
know,
lost in the snow, and then Han stays overnight with him out in the snow, and then they got to go find him, and then they bring him back, and then Luke's got to recover, and they're talking, and more Han Leia development, and they're working on ships, and they're strategizing to see if the Empire's following them.
Con-
There's development
con-
on the Empire side.
continuing that New Hope pacing.
Yeah,
You know, and
but
that
even though nothing's happening, there's also, as far as the main characters are concerned, there's a lot actually going
it's a
on.
lot of it's just a lot of setup
Mm-hmm.
is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's a lot of setup.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't have much to say about the Tauntaun scenes or anything like that.
Yeah, like I really like the Battle of Hoth itself.
The
Like
Battle of Hoth. When they first pull up their little binoculars and see the, how do you say it? AT-ATs or AT-ATs?
I call them AT-ATs.
Okay.
You can call them
Um,
AT-ATs. That doesn't bother me.
I just don't call them ATs. I always call them ATSTs, but for some reason I have an urge to say AT-AT. And they call them Imperial Walkers, so whatever.
Yeah. So
But when they see Imperial Walkers through the binoculars and then they got to move up, it's just this. It's a weird image because it. Honestly, part of me thinks it's just a ridiculous design, but then when you're seeing it coming at you,
you're just
uh,
like the laser that it shoots is like the size of the whole fucking bunker.
right?
Uh,
It's pretty damn cool.
but
That whole scene.
but then you have the part where there's like they hook the tow cable and go around and or like Luke like hooks under one and whacks at it with the lightsaber. It's just so goddamn awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought there was a real funny scene, couple scenes where there was the two walkers that blew up. The first one had the cable go around their legs, and they were firing at it before with the ship's lasers, and it's like, oh, blasters weren't going to do anything against this armor. They hit the cable, Walker falls, and then head's exposed. They shoot 3 lasers up it, and the whole thing blows up. It's like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, fine, whatever. But then Luke throws that bomb into the other one, and it starts like causing little small explosions in the back, and then for no reason the head just blows up. And it's like, none of this makes sense. But
70s movie logic, or sorry, 1980 is when this came out. So excuse
1980.
me, 1980s movie logic.
Look, are you not entertained? Yes, I'm entertained. Then why do you care? I
Then,
don't
yeah,
know.
then shut up. That's why.
So I don't know. I thought that was funny, but
Yeah.
that whole scene is good. It's another scene where the stormtroopers and Darth Vader enters into the base as they're evacuating. Um, Very similar to New Hope in a weird way. That whole scene was, uh, everyone evacuating and escaping just as Vader arrives. Um, but that scene's cool. Then yeah, the rest of the crew go to, well, they just try to escape, and then Luke heads to Dagobah, and I don't know what is it? What did the crew do? Did they have to deal with the ships before they got to the asteroids?
No, they were just trying to outrun the ships
They were trying to
because
outrun them.
they were gonna pull them in, uh, and then like they shoot into the asteroid field, and they have that mini chase scene in there,
Yep.
where and then Han lands on an asteroid, and then cuts back to Luke, and then we get introduced to Yoda.
Yes. Yoda, at his introduction, I was thinking about this. Imagine being a kid now being introduced to Star Wars, and you're introduced in uh, the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you see Yoda 1, 2, 3, and then you're introduced to Yoda in 5, like digging around in packs and like throwing shit around, and uh,
You
like
just think he'd
R2 like grabbing onto something, and Yoda's hitting him with the stick, going mine, mine. What is going? What happened?
he lost his fucking mind 20 years alone on the middle of nowhere on a planet that's covered in the dark side.
I mean,
Uh,
thankfully, and then later on, he uh, shows that it's all a ruse, more of a test to
well,
test Luke's patience. But
not only that's a test, but also to test like, I'm sure that if someone landed here and they found him, he needs to play dumb
that's true.
because it's just like if the Empire finds him,
Yep.
it's like oh shit, now I'm
Yep.
on the move again.
Right.
Um,
Exactly. So
but yeah, like Yoda, like his like you seek Yoda, I will take you to see Yoda. Uh,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
take me to Yoda. Yeah, and then like and Yoda. Honestly, Yoda motivates me in my real life.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
Hearing that like that classic line, "Do or do not, there
Yeah.
is no try."
Mm-hmm.
Just like
It's a good delivery.
uh,
Him explaining what the Force was, I thought was
just
really good.
chills every time.
Yeah.
Just and then like Luke can't lift like you see him lift the spaceship like a little bit and then he
Mhm.
gives up and like pouts like the whiny little bitch he is at this point.
I wonder how old he's supposed to be, because like A New Hope, I gathered he was 18, 19, 20 or something like that.
Yeah, like between 18 and 20. So this is probably between like 21 and 22. So
That's what I'm thinking.
like he's still the impatient hothead who just like wants adventure and to help his friends.
Yep.
He is not yet ready to be a full-on Jedi.
Right.
And like Yoda's just like, let me show you how the Force does.
Yep.
Lifts the fucking entire thing out of the swamp.
It's a slow scene, but the music builds while you're
Mhm.
watching it happen, and it really makes it damn cool.
Just it's so every bit of Yoda in this movie just fills me like, and you have Luke's dark side scene
Yep.
where he fights Vader and it's like, oh shit, you can be the dark one. Like
Right.
yeah, and then of course we have our first introduction to the Emperor.
Yeah, that was in Vader's sensory deprivation chamber. Yeah, that must have been weird, seeing like someone superior to Vader just so suddenly.
Well, not only that, but also just like you have this Vader being like, no, we should be able to turn him. Which, do you think that Vader knew at that point?
That he was going to turn on the Emperor.
No, that Vader, like, Luke was his kid. Like, when did you think Vader realized, oh crap?
Uh, I don't know. Did they say that at the end of three that he know? Is he aware of the two kids?
No, not at all. He's not even aware he has children in A New Hope.
Uh, they sense it through the Force, can't they?
I mean,
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
yeah, but like they never mention it in the first like A New Hope,
No.
and so that this makes me believe like I think Vader lost that battle and he knew of the Force during that battle and was like, that's my kid.
Which scene?
The end of A New Hope. The use the Force, Luke, and it blows up the Death Star. Uh,
He was gonna shoot him, wasn't he? And then Han Solo jumped in.
yeah, but Han Solo which that makes me believe definitely he didn't know it was his kid.
Oh, that he didn't know. Yes,
Yeah,
no, I don't think he knew. No,
I think he knew after the
but
Death Star got blown up. He was like, oh,
I think yeah, he started looking, sensing the Force, especially as Luke became more attuned with the Force. Maybe then Vader started sensing him better and started getting a better idea.
and also like the name, like oh,
Well,
Skywalker.
though, the name will help.
Yeah, like who's the dude who blew up the Death Star? Luke Skywalker.
Well, yeah. So that was actually a line I wrote here in my notes. Was Emperor something like directly said to him, "That is your child," and Vader goes, "How is that possible?" Like, do you not remember? Do you think like in Vader's maturation that the brain just like overwrote Anakin's memories
No,
because you
I
think you'd remember something like that?
all he thought he just murdered Padme. That's what he
Well,
thought.
yeah,
Yeah, like if we're connecting the whole continuity, like in his mind at the end of that movie, Palpatine tells him like it's like where's Padme? He's like she
that's
in
right. He
your anger you killed
killed
her.
her. Yeah.
And
Yep.
no.
Yep.
God,
Never mind.
I can't wait for Revenge of the Sith.
I know.
I was so
It'll
looking
be
forward
good.
to that one.
Uh, Getting to the prequels, that's what I'm most excited for
Well,
here.
let's we got
It'll be
we
very
got
interesting.
we got 2 to 3 movies this week, so
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, let's see what else. So we went over the worms bit in the worm in the asteroid,
yeah, when they
that
were
whole stuff.
inside the worm, not
Yep.
um,
Not a hole in the asteroid.
yeah, not a hole. They had the bats to deal with, giant bats. Then they do the thing where they like fly at the Star Destroyer and then park on it, and
Yep.
then
They got two Star Destroyers that hit each other.
yeah,
I thought was kind of weird, but okay.
because Han Solo's the best goddamn pilot in ever. Yeah.
uh, yeah. So then Luke trains for a while, and then Ben Kenobi shows up in ghost form. The three of them have a decent chat.
Like he is not ready. No Jedi. Just, I was like, I was impatient once.
He's too old. Yes, too old. I, the Yoda's voice in this is really good.
I wish they would have kept it. I wish.
I,
Uh,
they made him very much more serious in the prequels, and
and
I don't know if it was a good choice.
I don't think that's one of the things. Yeah, like I like this version of Yoda where he's just like senile, crazy goblin man.
This man whoever's behind this has been working Muppets before pretty
Yeah.
well.
You know what's? I actually heard an interesting behind the scenes story about Empire.
Okay.
So Luke and Yoda could not hear each other.
Oh God.
So they had to completely act off of just like lip slash puppet syncing.
And Mark Hamill would just have to remember what
Yeah,
he was saying.
yeah.
Shit.
It's real good, all real good. All that's considered too.
They figured. Yeah, I didn't notice anything like that.
Yeah.
If I looked for it, but
Yeah, yeah. Yoda was a real highlight of this film. So, but they filter out with the trash and go to Coruscant.
yep.
No,
Cloud City.
Cloud City. That's it.
Yep.
Coruscant's the other. That's the planet in the prequels.
Yep.
Sorry. And they meet up with Lando, and something is amiss as C-3PO gets murdered and taken apart. Which, God, does C-3PO suck in this movie?
C-3PO is quite something in this movie. In
So
the first one, he was kind of like talking shit, you know,
yeah, like
saying to R2 like, I don't think he likes you, and then R2 beeps. He goes, I don't like you either, and just turns his back like, shit, Jesus
but
Christ. And then
like
in this movie, oh my God, he's a
just
nervous
nervous,
Nelly.
anxiety, nervous Nelly.
I
Just
don't know. I couldn't think of anything, but
just
yeah, he's just like,
just
well, these are the odds, and oh God.
an anxiety nightmare is the best way I would describe it. Um, and then he gets ripped apart as the something is amiss in Cloud City.
Yep,
And they
Lando.
Lando being the dick that he is, at least in this movie. Uh,
Lando and Han gave me some uh, creepy vibes at occasional moments in this movie,
what do you mean?
specifically in regards to like talking with Leia. Uh,
Oh yeah, well Lando in particular with that.
Lando in particular because we didn't see a whole movie with them; they didn't know each other at all. Han,
Lando's just like you're an attractive woman, and I'm Billy D. Williams.
yeah, exactly right. You know, but man, Lando's cape, that's a good cape.
that
I don't blame him for having that cape at all.
I don't blame anyone for wearing a cape.
Yeah, it's hard to pull off, but if you have a whole ensemble to go with it,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Cloaks need to come back.
cloaks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do some poncho stuff
Why did ponchos go away?
because not enough people could pull them off. I think.
Really?
Same thing with capes. I don't think you can pull off a lot of
But I think
cape
almost
action.
anyone can pull off a cloak.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would have to be designed properly. You'd have to like go to some up and coming designers and be like, make cloaks fashionable, and I bet they could come up with something. But you couldn't just plant a standard cloak on people wearing modern clothes now and make it look good. I don't think.
No.
I don't think so. I think you'd have to modernize it a little bit in the same way we always bring back, stuff from the 80s or something like that, but we're not bringing it straight from the 80s. We'll, alter it and tweak it just a little bit to get the essence of what we like about the 80s, but in a modern sense. That's what I think it should happen with cloaks.
Okay then.
But anyway, I've thought about this. So, yeah, C-3PO, his character
So
changes also.
very annoying. Very, very annoying.
Yeah.
But not like I don't know, not bad, just annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't affect it, and it gave us the "Never tell me the odds" line,
Yeah, of course.
which is good.
Which that's a golden one. Of course you find out that Lando's a traitor. You know,
Yes, yep. That scene when it opens up and Darth Vader's just sitting there, and then Han pulls a gun and starts shooting at him,
and
and he blocks it with his hand.
Vader's like, oh,
Man,
oh,
that was a good few seconds.
just so this is this monster, eh?
Yeah,
Um, no, yeah,
that's a good scene. There's the slow worsening of the situation, and until eventually Lando directs his team to start fighting back.
right, and he lets the whole city know that the Empire is here, and so on and so forth.
He has his own little mini redemption through it all. but not before Han gets literally iced.
Literally frozen in carbonite. No, I like how Vader's like, all right, we need to test this, see if it'll work on Skywalker to bring him to the Empire. It's like, what if it kills him? Don't worry, the Empire will compensate you.
Yep,
Uh, so
we have the money.
yeah, and just Vader turns on Lando several times, just keeps dicking him over throughout the
The pray don't alter it further line.
yeah.
Real good one.
Yeah, and then of course the Han Solo line of just like, I love you. I know.
After the shit he pulled in that movie, it's a very Han Solo line, but also like
Very, very cheesy. So
hmm
Star Wars has always been cheesy.
oh yeah, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, no. So Luke flies back,
Yep,
and we have a real drag out lightsaber fight.
that fight I really enjoyed.
And you can tell, like, at first it seems like Luke is like, oh, okay, Luke's kind of hanging in there,
Yep.
and then you see like, oh no, he's not. He is not.
No,
He is not in this fight in any way, shape, or form.
and it's actually really cool that they end this movie the way they do.
Oh, it's so good, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, holy, like just like it's just what how does he say it? It's not I am your father. It's just like
no, he does. He goes, Luke, I am your father. Or no, Luke, I am your father.
and that's impossible
Yep.
after cutting his hand off. And then
The way they defeat him, yeah, the lightsaber battle's over.
yeah.
And then there's just this added, oh, also,
And then
bit.
Luke escapes and you think, "Oh, he's done, right? Like he's hanging from the bottom of this city."
Yep,
But then the connection with the Force, and it just ends on just a down note. Just like Han is in the hands of the bounty hunter.
yep,
Luke has a robot hand and needs to go back to train.
yep,
The rebels are even in a worse place.
yep.
Shit is fucked.
Not dead, though.
Not dead. Not dead, as we will.
That's important.
But like, I liked how this movie was like just basically 2 hours of the bad guys winning most of the time.
I mean, so I think specifically with Han, there was a lot of good outwitting,
Yeah.
but the overall conflict was always trending towards the bad guys. The rebels are always having to flee. Like there was their second big fleeing scene in the series at the beginning, and then they're having to flee at Cloud City.
And like Han is fleeing in the asteroid field, and like
And he's showing good skill and he's outsmarting those fighters, but at the end of the day, he's still having to run.
yeah, like at the end of the day, it's like just this overwhelming force that they are being just barely competitive with, using literally every resource they have, and just because of that, the entire time you're on the edge of your seat, being like, how are they going to do it? How are they going to do
Yep.
it? What bullshit are they going to pull to win
Right.
this?
Yep.
And surprise, they don't, bitches. The Empire as just and I really love that even though the good guys get away, Darth Vader just looks out his window and is like, I'm gonna get him
Well, he's also, yeah, like thinking about Luke and still wanting, his thing is still wanting to turn him.
to the dark side.
Yeah. And then Luke is left asking, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Which puts this question mark of how does he really feel about all this now? Could
Yeah.
he be turned to the dark side?
Which and like I I want to talk Return of the Jedi a little bit. I'm gonna just mention one thing.
That movie doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Just the next movie shows up in black.
What?
Yeah, no, like you have this just like Luke, just it's the bad guys, won all the check marks. They did everything. And now it's you have this set up for this third movie that's, hopefully, the good guys need basically a miracle to turn it around.
Yep.
So,
So, damn, it is a hell of a ride, just like the last movie.
yeah, man, how great is it to start with two tens in a row?
Right?
You
Yeah.
know, two 5 out of 5s, two tens out of tens. So we gotta rank them. Which one do you like more?
I, I still have to put 4/5.
Okay, yeah, I'm the opposite. Like
Yeah.
I prefer 5. It's a little more iconic flavor for me.
Sure.
Just you got that Imperial March. You got that
Yep.
I Am Your Father.
Yep.
But man, just these are two incredible movies.
What I like about 4 is that you know, it is pretty much this self-contained movie that is the hero's journey, that is establishing the characters,
Oh,
establishing the world and the force and all that.
right.
And I
Versus
really enjoy that very much. Whereas Empire, it's sort of just the continuation of all that, which is not bad in any way.
right.
But I just enjoy that beginning portion where it's introducing everything, and it's like this feeling of constant discovery.
Right, and for me, it's like I like the fact that we are getting to play in this established world now.
Yeah.
Like we established this really cool, interesting world with these characters that are all great. Now let's play in this world.
Yep.
So yeah, that's that so two great flicks. And the downfall starts next week. Everybody.
I mean, okay. So to be fair, yeah, like a lot of people put. I think of all the Star Wars lists I've ever seen, 5 is always number 1.
It's always 5 or 4.
Empire is always the top pick.
It's always 5 or 4. Yeah, I've seen 4 a couple of times.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know some people who actually. I know a couple of Star Wars fans who actually put Revenge of the Sith as their number 1.
I mean, when you know the context of the next movies and you see the way Revenge of the Sith ends, I see it.
Yeah, just because like that end speech by Obi-Wan
Yep.
hits every time.
And it plays the music, and you see the Tatooine, 2 suns, and all that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like how in we'll get to them anyway.
We'll get to them. We can
yeah.
talk
There's as much as I dislike certain parts of this franchise, I gotta fucking admit, man, that like that I generally enjoy even the bad content in this franchise.
It's just an interesting world that blends sci-fi, fantasy, western, comedy, drama, horror.
Yeah,
It's
like it's
everything.
and that's I think why everyone attaches to it. Like there's literally something for everyone,
Yeah.
And it's why I think the Mandalorian's been doing so well recently.
Yep.
Which I need to watch the new episode of that. I haven't caught up yet.
Sure.
But yeah, so another banger.
Yeah.
Shocking no one.
I mean, yeah. No, the real good stuff's when we're gonna get to the new trilogy. That's gonna be really good. Or not the new trilogy. The sequel trilogy. That'll be the most interesting. I think. I'm really excited to see the prequels again. I haven't sat down and watched the prequels in so long.
Last time I did a prequels run was right before Force Awakens came out.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's about 4.5 years ago now.
All right.
So I'm very curious. I've always been a big proponent of I don't think episodes 1 is bad as everyone says.
Sure.
I have always been a big proponent of episode 2 is arguably some of the worst Star Wars content. And
that's the one I'm most excited to revisit.
And I've always been a person who's been like, I think episode 3 is on par with Jedi, maybe as good as the other 2.
Three is when people rank the prequels. 3 tends to be at the top, and then 2 tends to be at the bottom. I've
Yeah,
noticed is the standard.
and
But
then the Last Jedi might be the most like I've never
I'm so excited to see that because I've only seen it once in theaters.
I
I
I
want to see that again.
I've never seen a fan base just splits in half over a movie like that.
Still, like we're
The
still
like
dealing with it.
I still see people arguing on my Twitter and my Facebook over that movie.
I still see like YouTube thumbnails about this is why this movie failed. I'm like, did it?
And this is
I
and I also see the YouTube thumbnail of like this is why this movie is amazing. You know, like it's like there's just like I fell into the camp. I really liked it. You know,
the final answers I think will come in when well, not the final answers, but I think we'll get more context once Rise of Skywalker comes out.
which
That'll give us more frame of reference.
they just put a new TV spot for that over Thanksgiving. It played Duel of the Fates into the Imperial March.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Yeah, so they're like heavily hinting at Palpatine.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So,
yeah.
uh,
And what I'm most curious about with the new trilogy is we got just a massive resurgence of Star Wars fans who went in and dissected the prequels and had fun with it and became, endeared with it. I wonder if that will happen to the sequels.
I'm kind of curious. Well, because the sequels have been a lot more has been better received as a whole. Force
Right.
people generally liked Force Awakens. Jedi is very split, but versus the prequels where fuck it, everyone talks shit on those movies.
Yeah.
So I'm like but I'm also curious the thing that I'm curious about is the generation that grows up with Force Awakens and so on. When they go back to the original trilogy and they go back to the prequels, what will they think?
Yep.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yep.
And then they're also growing up with Solo and Rogue One and The Mandalorian, and now Jedi Fallen Order is their game.
Right.
I'm curious to see because our generation grew up with this weird hybrid of the full six, and then the full six prequel and main trilogy. And then also, our games were Republic Commando and Battlefront 2.
Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight
Academy.
2,
And then you have
KOTOR.
and then you have the OGs who grew up on the original trilogy, and theirs was Dark Forces and TIE Fighter and Super Star Wars on the SNES.
Super Star Wars, dude.
Good game, very good game.
I've been bad at video games, but I was especially bad those years when we rented Super Star Wars.
That game was hard. That game was super hard. I remember being really bad at the Rogue Squadron games until I got older.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so yeah, that's you hell of a start to a franchise.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to the end of this their trilogy.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week for these next 3 movies. Yeah, bye guys.
Take care of yourselves. May the Force be with you.
Damn straight.
Mm-hmm.